Have you ever felt so overwhelmed with emotion that you could just die? And I mean literally. Well then you may be a character in Emily Bronte's romantic gothic tragedy, Wuthering Heights, which is getting a new retelling in a movie starring Margot Robbie as Catherine Earnshaw, and we'll have to see if she can transform from a Barbie bombshell to a magnet of the moors when the movie is released theatrically on February 13th, 2026. Just in time for Valentine's weekend. So boyfriends out there, plan ahead and start marking your calendars now, or you may end up using tissues for something else other than tears that weekend. The movie started pre-production with a lot of fuss, as when the film was first introduced, it quickly started a bidding war between Netflix and Warner Bros. Pictures over the distribution rights. Netflix offered an astounding $150 million, but Warner won out with a lower bid of $80 million because the director Emerald Fennell and Robbie wanted to have a full theatrical release for the film. It seems like they're really pushing to keep with traditional film processes with this one, as it being more and more common for films to go straight to streaming and completely forego a proper theatrical release, or at least have a very limited one. And in this vein, they've also reportedly filmed it on 35mm film, instead of doing it digitally, which is by far the most common practice in the industry. Digital filming is traditionally cheaper and easier in most circumstances, and it gives creators the freedom to shoot for longer with less downtime. Since it's done with film, things need to be changed physically more often, and you have to pay per foot with filming, so it's best to minimize shots that aren't going to be used in the final cut. With digital, you can film to your heart's content and have more freedom to take risks that may or may not work out, since recording and storing it just takes data, which is relatively cheap, easy to use, and renewable. To give you an idea of how rare it is to shoot on film for professional level productions, I've worked on about 30-ish movies and TV shows in the last year and a half, and I don't believe a single one shot on film, at least not for any of the scenes that I was part of. But that is not to say that film does not have some advantages. It has a much longer history of use, so the support and knowledge of film is extensive. And although filmed images are permanent, that is both a positive and a negative, as now you have a copy that will last forever if kept properly, and doesn't have to risk data corruption issues like digital can have. Film also generally comes out developed looking great already, while digital video generally needs color correction during editing to make it have a proper cinematic look. If you want an example of what this means, this video right now is what would come out in shooting in the raw digital format, which, like its name implies, is just the raw image data with little to no processing by the camera. Generally, the way digital cameras work is they process this data to change it to colors that are either what we would expect in terms of how our brains process them, or to make them look more cinematic. This is either done in camera while filming in different formats, or during editing, which can make things look far different depending on the look that someone is going for, like this. Okay, that feels better. Filming for this video has all been done with the same camera and lighting setup. The only thing that changed is how the raw images were processed and colorized. With film, that colorization is done automatically as it's developed, so you shoot and it will already have a cinematic look to it without more work. And back to talking about Wuthering Heights. It sounds like they're willing to risk quite a bit of money to stick with tradition, and hopefully that pays off for them. For anyone who's interested in listening to the original work by Emily Bronte, you can listen to it for free on my audiobook channel by following the link either above or in the comments. Also, if you're a fan of the Bronte sisters and of murder mystery theater, well, I have an oddly specific piece of news for you. I've been cast as Edgar Allan Poe in Murder by the Book, which will run October 9th, 10th, and 11th in Liberty, South Carolina. So if you're interested in a campy comedy starring some of your favorite writers, including Charlotte Bronte, I'll put a link to purchase tickets below. Well, I think that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching till the end. I'm Frank Chopatini with Servetti Software, and I'll see you in the next one. Servetti helps services run better. For a demo or free trial, email frank@servetti.com or leave a comment.